Welcome to Draw One Last Breath Horror Podcast. My name's Matt.
I'm Butch.
On this episode 140, we have been to the cinema to watch The Exorcist Believer. So here are our thoughts on that in a minute. We have got a massive movie from the vault on this episode. Butch has picked two out of the bag. Friday the 13th Part 3 and Friday the 13th Part 4, the final chapter. Let's do this.
Well,
you
made a believer out of me. I mean, one of our team, one of our crew is still very much is still in the cinema, possessed, probably, hopefully, puking pea soup over the Atlantic or something like that. I don't know. He's swanning off somewhere. Fucking pussy.
Do you reckon it's the Exorcist? The bad Exorcist thing, like what's it called? The
curse.
Curse. Yes.
Yeah, I think he's part of the curse now, and he's probably tied to a chair with a child behind him. His words.
Pardon.
And then so absent without leave.
Again.
So fuck him. Fuck you, Paul. Get your ass back on. Get your ass back on air, and we love it. We'll see you soon.
Yeah, we need it back.
Get that demon out. But yeah, I've had a good couple of weeks, mate. There's been some. It's fucking October, so yeah, of course I've been watching stuff. I hope you have too.
Yeah, I've watched a few bits.
I have watched Come to Daddy, the Elijah Wood movie that was in the Fright Fest quite a few years ago. Pretty damn good, I thought. Pretty damn good. It's a dark little tale that flips on its head halfway through. It's fucking weird. It's an odd one, an odd movie. Dirty. I liked it though. VHS 85 is now on Shudder. So go and watch that. Now, I remember VHS 99 maybe not living up. This follows the same sort of like where it's shot, that gritty, camera, like it's been like dragged through dirt. This one worked for me. I liked all the stories. I thought they were very well put together. Very creepy overtone as well. I think it was Joshua or some creepy, weird shape-shifting thing. I don't know. But go and check this bad boy. It's on Shudder now. I very highly recommend it. I love this one. I really did. Totally Killer, out now on Amazon with what's her name, Erin something or other. She's played Sabrina. Kiernan Shipka, I think her name is. She's played Sabrina, and it also stars the mum from Modern Family. So amongst a few others. This one was quite fun. Bubblegum horror. Definitely. Sort of like on the lines of what do we watch with the time travel one? We had Freaky recently, and we had the
Happy Death Day.
Happy Death Day and Happy Death Day to You. Sort of more Happy Death Day to You. But still good.
I hate it.
I don't know. Still good fun. It's like, a bit of time travel, a bit of stabby. Thought it was going to be very, very funny. The comedy maybe didn't come through enough, but the stabby stuff was pretty good. Got the Sweet 16 Killer. Quite interesting. You're the master weird. And I watched randomly. I don't know why I watched this. I Spit on Your Grave 3. Vengeance is Mine. It follows on. So there's I think since 2010 they had the sort of remake come out.
There was 4 of them, isn't there? Is there 4?
Is there? Yeah, Deja Vu, I think. But that original, the sort of original remake, this one follows on from that, and it's with the same woman, and she's sort of in group therapy, and then goes on a sort of vengeance spree. Basically, she ends up very, very fucked up at the end. But case surprise, I mean, she was viciously raped. So, yeah, not bad. Little, very gory. Not much of a story, and it's maybe a bit low budget, but very gory, and the special effects were done very well.
They all pretty much are, aren't they? Really,
Mate,
gets down to the gore.
There's a dick cutting scene in this, which is just beyond. So,
Wow.
yeah, did make me squeeze. But that's me. I've watched a few bits, and I've still got plenty of October left to go. What about you?
Wow. I went on a bit of a William Friedkin kind of like look around because like I really like, obviously Exorcist is like one of my favorite films of all time, but I have always picked up a film at work off the shelf that's called The Sorcerer. It's nothing to do with sorcerers, which it could be mistaken for, but it's not really a horror, but it's got horrific things in it, but literally it's probably one of the best films I've ever seen. It was just absolutely amazing. It's got your boy from Jaws in it, Roy Schneider.
Roy Schneider.
Yep. And basically, I don't really want to talk about it much because it's an intense film, man, and you could tell it's like William Friedkin as well. And I went on a bit of a dive because like there was a whole documentary about it afterwards. It was like 70 minutes long, which was really, really good. So I watched the whole of that. But I really want you to go and watch it because I don't want to really tell you what it's about. And it's just really, really intense. And it's very, very clever. Other than that,
Nice.
I believe that you've watched it as well. I've watched Gen V, which is a spin-off from The Boys, which is really absolutely nuts. Blood and gore all over the place.
Yeah, happy, very
Yeah.
happy with this.
It's
Yes.
done a great job. It's on a par with The Boys. Really good, interesting, but the effects are crazy, man. It's just like it's all out in it, like loads of just guts and gore, and yeah, if that's your thing, go and check it out. If you like The Boys, you'll love it. But that's and I've watched half of VHS 85. I will
Okay.
get the other half done.
And you're liking it so far?
Yeah, I love it. It's the
Nice.
80s, man. Who's not to love the 80s? It's bloody brilliant. It's really good.
That first one with like the shots that are coming out of nowhere and the bloody violence and the gore structure and the way that the dismemberment,
Mental, innit?
it's incredible. Yeah.
Catches you off guard.
Yeah. Very, very cool. All right, let's get on to some news then, bud. You got so much?
Yeah, have you seen, literally just announced hot off the press, that one of the Freddy screen used Freddy gloves is going up, and it's screen worn, and it's going up for sale on the old Prop Store of London. Well, Prop Store London is one in America as well, but apparently it's a one of a kind. It's going up for sale, and I don't know how much they're valuing it at.
Oh, it's a shame. I was going to get my pocketbook out.
Oh, there you go. The current absentee bid for this incredible piece of horror history is already over $100,000.
Oh, £100,000.
$100,000. With bidding scheduled to end on Thursday, November the 9th. So get your pennies out, Mr. Butch, and get a screen-used Freddy glove.
Would be upset if I put the house up.
Dude, it comes with the plans and everything. It looks mad.
Wow.
Like just all the original sketch of it and everything. Can you imagine having that?
Imagine you won the lottery this weekend. It's like, what's your splurge? What's your splurge? I'm going to go and spend a couple $100,000 on a glove.
I don't know, man. I reckon. What do you reckon? Ballpark figure. Where do you reckon that's going to end up?
350.
Do you?
I don't think it'll hit a mil.
I'm going 550.
All right. Okay.
I reckon half a mil.
A gentleman's bet on that.
We'll have a little look. So 9th, it ends on the 9th. So we'll do some research and we'll get back.
All right. Sweet.
I'm going to write that down so we don't forget.
Yes. All right. Other than that, I got some news. We're heading to like the winter. All
right, boy.
Festival season. So for Love of Horror's around the corner. They've pretty much gone Lost Boys this year. Lost Boys is their thing. They've got upwards to Kiefer Sutherland, Jason Patrick, which is amazing, including Alex Wynn. They got loads. The usual guff. They're also going for Terrifier 2. This time they're getting the actresses down and the actors down from that, so that's pretty cool. couple of James Dew Courtney, Nick Castle, which is great. But I thought this was really mad, really, really, really mad. They got Jenna Jameson, so
yeah,
zombies,
loads of horror chops.
Zombies. I mean, she's done a lot of other stuff.
Porn.
Exactly.
She's done horror pornos.
How do I get tickets?
Yeah, I was going to say, I bet you want to go now, right?
Yeah, so there you go. That's pretty cool. Also, London Film and Comic Con have got a few horror treats as well. They just announced Kit Harington for one, which is Jon Snow. But Tony Todd apparently is going to be there, along with a lot of guests from Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey, which I still need to watch. So that's quite interesting.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I'm seeing empty tables with disappointed people because I just can't see the pull.
I think we missed the boat. I think there's a cult following there that we.
I don't know if there is, dude, because I've heard nothing but bad stuff about it.
Yeah, but
not in a good bad way though. Not in the poor butcher good bad way. Like this is it's just like I don't know. We'll see.
Well. Also, we got a couple of old school ones. I can't remember the names now, but there's some House of Cemetery, some like proper like old guard as well. There's a mix, so it looks pretty cool.
There's still no one that I really want to go and see.
Can't believe you're not going to see.
They really need to get their 80s stars out, don't they? Like I'd love it if they just got some classic 80s horror stars out. I'm waiting. I hope they do it.
Right.
A big pool.
Well, quite an interesting one I read as well. Like Terrifier 2 is getting a cinema release, obviously close to Christmas, November the 1st. I think it's in America, not over here. But the people who get tickets to go and watch it are getting a teaser trailer for Terrifier 3.
Oh.
Already got a little teaser. So go America, go get your tickets for that. Tell us all about it, please.
Yeah.
Maybe there'd be like a little, I don't know, evil dog sort of clown to join the tribe. I don't know.
I'm expecting it to go batshit. Like
what, the last one wasn't batshit enough for you?
Yeah, no, but I think it's going to go even crazy. I think it's going to go like Evil Dead 3 sort of. It's going to go mad. I just know it. I got a feeling it's just going to start. Yeah. I don't know.
You got any other news?
I've only got a little bit of trailer news. Did you see the trailer for Toxic Avenger?
Oh my God, yes. Peter
How
Dinklage.
good does that look?
It's a scene in a cafe, and it's like, yeah, fucking
like
blood guts, fun. Cannot fucking wait. There's been lots of like guerrilla sort of marketing for this at like different festivals. And it looks fantastic. The poster looks insane. I mean, I don't know if everyone knows, but I met Lloyd Kaufman in New York Comic Con. He's a fucking genius marketer. He really is. So yes, cannot wait for that one. And it, this is like
the trailer does it justice. It look like the original Justice is corny as hell, which is how it should be. But I can't wait. I think it looks really cool, man. I just hope they go proper all out, special effects. Like, yeah, I don't want none of that like CGI shit.
Nah, of course it won't. All right, cool. Okay, if that's all we got, let's get on to our main review.
We've met before.
Are you looking for Reagan? Are you looking for Reagan? Keep on to them! Reagan strong!
What do you think evil is? I'll tell you what I think it is. We're born in this world with hope and dreams and a desire to be happy.
Dad?
Something's going on with my daughter.
No! No!
It's happening to my daughter, too.
The devil has one wish.
Wherever those girls went, they brought something back with them.
To make us lose faith.
But I believe you can help get our daughters back.
To kill it in us. And the devil never gives up.
She knows who I am. Where's the other girl?
What you're doing here is dangerous. People have died on both sides of possession.
Come home, baby. Come back to us, okay?
If you don't make it, I don't make it.
Mama!
What is it, baby?
I can't hear you.
Baby, I'm right here.
I don't want to go to hell.
God played that trick on you.
There are 2 heartbeats. Is it working?
They're beating in sync.
Be strong.
What did you do?
One girl lives, one girl dies.
You get to choose.
Okay, our main review. We've been waiting for this for a long time. So we got to go to the cinema to watch The Exorcist Believer. So we went and booked this in 4DX because it was the only showing in our cinema that was near us that was doing the showing. It was in a 4DX. That was the only one we could go. So that's the one with the moving chairs, spits out water, and you smell stuff and everything like that. It's pretty intense. But we decided to go for it. Anyway, a little synopsis before we get into the nitty-gritty of this. When single father Victor Fielding's daughter, Angela, and her friend Catherine show signs of demonic possession, it unleashes a chain of events that forces him to confront the nature of evil. Terrified and desperate, he seeks out Chris McNeil, the only person alive who's witnessed anything like it before.
Yes. There we go. So, directed by David Gordon Green, who brought us the latest Halloween trilogy, and back on executive producing Danny McBride. Right, that's what they want to do, is just, bring up our shit. I think we should start. This has been fucking not well received so far, what I've seen. But, it's not The Exorcist. There's been, 5 other attempts at sort of like different sort of strings to The Exorcist bow that we saw.
Not to mention TV shows.
TV show, which was incredible. That was good. But like this, compared to the other lot that they've done before this, it's up there. It sits for me probably below the TV series, but right up there in terms of having a go. What it did too much of for me was concentrate on trying to rehash, which they did. They rehashed some of what was in the Exorcist. I don't think they needed to. But if they the bits that were just kind of original, fucking enjoyed it, and I enjoyed the experience of the IMAX. So it's sort of a double-edged sword on this one. What about you? What do you think?
So yeah, I obviously I saw some of the reviews the non-spoiler reviews before I went in, and to be honest, I was I do always go in with the kind of idea that it's not going to be The Exorcist is come on guys, you got to think about it. The Exorcist was one of its kind, one of the things that comes along in like a blue moon that hits hard. The timing that it was brought out, the way it was made, the way it was acted, everything about it, you are not going to be able to recreate that. So I know that I went in there with the lowest of low expectations. My expectations were in the gutter for this, the absolute gutter. And it wasn't as bad as everyone's making it out to be. It's not horrifically bad, But for me, the film makes some really bad choices. For me, but But
yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head. It's about those choices, and it's like we start off with dogs fighting, and it's like, okay, and I had a unique Exorcist experience when I was 18, and it had a re-release in the cinema, and some of the Werewolf Dan, it fucking freaked the fuck out of me. It's a fucking true masterpiece of a horror movie, and you're never gonna tip it over, never. But bringing it up to the sort of this, why? Of course, you're going to get. We've had so many possession movies, of course we had, but to be in that sort of line of succession, I don't know. It's hard, and you're always going to get rinsed. But there was some good. The girls in it were fucking incredible. The acting from those two girls were absolutely amazing. I should really say their names. That would be a bit of a shit if I wasn't to be able to do that. And I'm just obviously dragging this on because I don't know their names. But
we're going to help you out.
Yeah, we're talking Olivia O'Neill, who was Catherine, and Lydia Jewett, who was Angela. Those two girls were absolutely fantastic. And it really played on the innocence of these two, which I thought was great. And it didn't go jump into the Ouija board world. And when there were some moments of like real like horror. There were some moments of real horror. And if you take the complete, like, I'm gonna rip off what was in the first one. If you take those parts away from it, you're looking at not a bad horror movie, I think, when it comes down to it.
Do you know what? The first 45 minutes I actually really enjoyed. I thought it was winning me over. It really was, because like you said, we start the movie, right, and we're following a guy and his wife, and she's clearly pregnant, and I quite like the setting. And I really like the idea. We're going to go to spoilers with this, guy. So if you want to come back and watch the film and come back to it. But I thought the way it started as well, with the fact that they lose, he had to ultimately make a choice whether he was going to have his wife survive or the baby survive, because they were in an earthquake. Yeah. So it's just like, we're here. This guy is ultimately got to come up with the worst decision ever that no one should have to make. And then obviously we time jump to where his daughter's older, and the connection between the dad and the daughter was really strong, and they set it up really, really well. And then, like you touched on with the innocence of the children, we didn't need to know kind of their backstories. You see, they're wholesome girls. They come from nice backgrounds. They go to a good school. They don't get involved with Ouija board. What they do is really innocent, because all they want to do is kind of contact her mum that's deceased. And obviously they mess around with it and go missing.
For like 3 days. For
3 days, yeah. And now what in the intentional way the film portrays it is that they were in hell for 3 days, wandering around because their feet are all burnt and they're all cut up, and they've obviously messed with something that has trapped them in there for 3 days, or and then they're found, obviously. And this is where it kind of, again, the film goes back to harking things from the first movie where, they're getting examined, shot for shot. Is which you can forgive it, is like, it's trying to pull at people's heartstrings to kind of get you to think, oh yeah, fan service, whatever. And but you know what, it did creep me out, the connection between the girls and the way they're talking and the way they're acting. It did creep me out. What about you?
Yeah, totally. Like, and even like on from that, when they're out of the hospital, and we then get sort of the moments, the increased sort of tension, and the father as well of Angela played it very stoic. He was very sort of like, didn't really know what to make of it. And then you got the parents of Catherine, who are like, part of a religious, a religious group, and sort of playing it. They play it completely different. Where he's sort of going down the mental health route, they're going down the sort of the community religious route, and you get this incredible. And it is not bad. The bit in the church, like they could have gone further. There's elements where we feel that like where the Exorcist, the bit with the fucking crucifix in the first one, we didn't get that moment. Do we need it? Don't know. But like,
well, they tried, didn't they? We'll talk about that in a minute.
Yeah,
but it's just like the church scene. I just think like, I said to you, I said it's a 15, man. They're just like, they're bound to a certain amount of what they can do. And I get it because they want to get bums on seat. They want everyone to go watch this movie, which they probably have. It's probably made bank. I didn't even look, but it's probably made loads of money. But it's just like, I'm not going to say it's paint by numbers because it isn't. They tried something different. However, for me, it just didn't land at all because it just breaks down halfway through. And did you not feel that that they concentrated on one side more than the other? Like, because I felt the girl with the religious family, they didn't really focus on that side of it much.
No, I think that was purposeful though.
That's intentional. But why?
Following Angela.
But why?
I think because of the ending. Really?
Because like there's a really, really good bit where they go to I can't remember what's the other girl's name. Catherine's house.
Yeah.
And it's all messed up, smashed up. The dad's just like sat there beaten, and upstairs is Catherine, like obviously fully possessed, like really crazy.
This is very much the Reagan moment, really. Like this is sort of most Reagan sort of nod whatsoever to it.
Well, let's get down to brass knuckles before we get onto that. The reintroduction of Ellen Burstyn. Shoot.
I don't know. Like, I didn't need it. I didn't need it to be in it. I didn't need it to be in it. I didn't need it to be in it. It was sort of like an opportunity for a bit of that nostalgia. Some of the bits they like the same thing they did in Halloween. Why not? It's sort of like, but I didn't. But
she wasn't good. She wasn't given anything. No, she didn't act very well.
No, they didn't give her any substance. They got, she got stabbed in the eyes. I think this is the intentional bit that they wanted to be the shock moment. And it wasn't shocking enough. That's the thing, because it was a 15. It wasn't shocking enough. That's what really annoyed me. Like they said with the church, there wasn't enough, for me. There weren't enough cunts in it. There weren't any of that sort of stuff. There wasn't one moment where I was like, fuck. There was a degree, like when we get towards the end of it, there's a fucking interesting choice, which we'll talk about in a minute. But most of it, like where it should have been, like that moment where she got stabbed in the eyes, where the church, where she sort of does that sort of like taking away the innocence and stuff. It's not enough. They needed to do something a bit more, and they didn't have the balls to do it.
No. I mean, yeah, you're exactly right. I mean, I said to you, like, didn't I? I said, like, Talk to Me did it in the right way, and that was a 15, and that was shocking. But you can't compare it. But what I'm saying is just like, come on, you've got the keys to this massive, like this franchise, and you really, it was winning me over at some point. I mean, I don't know whether it is also partly for the 4DX because those chairs just threw us around, and it's like, especially the jump scare bits, because it was like I was all relaxed, totally, all my muscles relaxed, and then literally I was almost like just not going to sleep, but I was almost like in a state where I was just like it's fully engrossed, and then bang, it hit me out of the seat, and I laughed my ass off.
Biggest takeaway for me, 4DX horror movies, yes, because those jump scares do make yourself very exaggerated, and it gets you. That was quite cool.
We've been to ones where it hasn't. Like we went to Book of Saw, and it was terrible, wasn't it? And, but I digress. Anyway, so let's get back to it. So Ellen Burstyn, completely pointless. I just think that they could have done without it. Maybe they needed her for the pool. I spoke to listener of the pod, Simon, and he said that he told me a bit of information that apparently previous to it, she got the script and she said it was so good she couldn't put it down, that she had to come and do it. And I was like, maybe that script got rewritten 10,000 times, maybe after.
Well, maybe that's just
I don't know what she read.
A cop-out thing to say.
I don't know, man. It's just like, yeah. But yeah, I mean, yeah. So we carry on with the film, and
yeah, like the main sort of chunk of this, I suppose, the last half hour, it's all around the exorcism, which is like very collaborative. It's very sort of, let's bring the Catholic Church into this, which again was
all faiths.
Yeah, there's yes, all sort of different diverse faiths, and it's all about bringing the community together to construct something and work it through. Again, I get it. That was nice. It's a nice way of looking at things, and it's a nice thing. But for me, the relationships between them all, and sort of like, I suppose I could have done. There was a slight montage. I love a montage, but that montage wasn't enough for me to believe that all these people were really like together in what's going on, or knew. They sort of just blagging it, and it was very apparent that they were blagging it.
Do you know what else I would have liked? Some more freaky stuff, like shit happening out of the blue. Do you know what I mean? Because nothing like the original, like some really weird stuff happens, doesn't it? Like it's just like weird shit happening. There wasn't enough of that. And then when they brought all these people from different faiths together, I really didn't like any of them, because there was no background to them. There was, when you think about the original priest from the original movie, it's like you felt connected to them because you knew all about them. You knew that they weren't quite in the faith. Where this one, they brought in a priest right at the last minute that was just and ahhing whether he wanted to do it.
Yeah,
and it's like, I didn't care if he died or not. I didn't care about him.
Nah. And then I was passed over to the neighbour, who was like an ex-nun, who, again, I didn't really care that much either, even though she was kind of supposed to be the hero, or was she? I don't know. It was a bit weird. Then the Catholic
backstory.
Yeah, and then the Catholic guy come in like right at the last minute, and then the dad, and because the dad of Catherine was a bit of a douche, and like there couldn't be any weak point, and we knew he was we could clearly see he was the weak point, and he was going to do something stupid, and he did. He did really stupid, because like obviously this demon's being tricksy and asking for the Sophie's Choice moment,
So this demon is not Pazuzu, is it?
I don't think so. It's
a different demon, isn't it?
If it is, I didn't really see that connection, unless they,
No, I don't think it is.
Apart from like what's her face, like you said, saying, "Oh, I've seen you before," and I'm like, well, I don't think you have. I don't really know enough about that. If it is, if it was supposed to be, then I was like, oh, unimpressed.
Yeah.
But he does give a little bit of a choice, and he says one of them can live if you make the choice. And the mum and the dad, the mum's looking at the dad of the other one, and they both go, and you're thinking they're not going to do it. They're together, and then they sort of like get distracted, and then boom, the dad says, "I make the choice for Catherine," and he fucking obviously, he made the wrong choice. But, yeah, because
never trust a demon.
She gets dragged down to hell. Now that bit for me, where was quite naughty, because he's obviously fucked up. It's a real hard choice. Obviously, Angela lives, but the way they sort of do the dragging down to hell, you sort of see a sort of cutaway of what's going on in Catherine's head and her soul, and her. She's back in like this like really dark, dank place, and she just gets dragged. And that's like, that kind of went, it hit me in the feels, that did.
Yeah, it could have been. I mean, yeah, it's just, it's too little too late for me. But yeah, I did like that bit.
That was probably the most disturbing bit of the movie.
I don't know. I think one of the ones that freaked me out a little bit was we're going back a bit, but when they're in the house and the dad is in the bathroom, and he puts her to bed, and then he's back in the bathroom, and he literally turns around, she's right there. Yeah. That was a bit, that kind of put a little bit of the willies up me, man. I'm telling you.
He gets thrown through the ringer. He gets thrown against the wall. He gets headbutted at one stage. But he's a bit of a weird character, the dad, because he got the girls, but he was doing the investigation part of the horror movie and digging up and stuff, and he was very much just going to stick her in a mental institution at one stage. But we find out a nice little tidbit about him as well. That was kind of thrown at him around.
Maybe that's why he was is a bit less kind of there's something not right, because we find out
he didn't
that he actually made the choice to keep his wife and not the child.
Because he just didn't feel, even though we knew that they had this great relationship, we could see that. He just felt when it was like the possession time, he just felt he was desperate, but there was just some lack of desperateness missing from him.
Not enough guilt. He needed something more. Something
was not there for me. So yeah, but all in all, it was an enjoyable. It was an enjoyable watch. I didn't. Should it have been an enjoyable watch? I don't know. It was like, it wasn't bad. It wasn't just. But it didn't fuck me up, and it didn't. There wasn't like that moment where I'm like, I'll be talking about forever. That's the thing. There isn't that. There isn't that to it. And the fact that you told me that there's a couple more of these down the pipe as well.
2 more. Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
But like, I don't know. It's just like, it was
okay. Who are they bringing back next then?
I don't know.
Because we do get a stupid cameo at the end. Spoilers. Linda Blair.
Yeah, maybe they've backed a load of cash up on her drive. I don't know. But yeah, it was just like, yeah, it could have been better. I think
I'd rather see her in Waxwork again, like a Waxwork sequel.
No.
No.
They just need to give the money to somebody that's like got a fresh idea.
But he's doing them all.
Yeah, I know. It'll just be like churning them out. It'll get bums on seats. It'll make loads of money. That's all they care about. I don't think they really, really care about the hardcore fans anymore. They just want to churn them out. This
is the first weekend of it. Yeah, I think it's first weekend in it. So it's done about 51 million so far.
Yeah,
it's not like groundbreaking. I mean, you look at the ones that are done, over 200 and stuff. Well, this year Nun 2 was up to nearly 250 million.
I rest my case.
So there we go. Insidious made
a good movie.
Insidious made 188.
That was quite good. I enjoyed it.
Yeah. Evil Dead Rise now on Netflix has done 146. So there's some good. A lot of money in horror this year. Interesting. I mean, talk to me all the way up to 88 million. Those boys have done good. So yeah, I don't know, man. It was just yeah, it's all right. I go and watch it. Make your own mind up. Don't listen to the critics. And go and watch it in 4DX.
I'd go and watch it in 4DX. I think that enhanced it a little bit for me. But I don't know with the ratings on this, man. I don't know.
I'm going for 7.
Way too high. Way too high, man.
6.
Way.
Maybe 7. I don't know.
5.
5. He goes in 5. I think
5 breaths out of 10. And that's generous. That's
6.
Generous.
6. 6 maybe.
5.
It's a recommend for me. You're
That's
like,
cool. You have your recommend.
Yeah, I'd recommend go and watch it. Go and see it.
It was an enjoyment of an experience to have. However, the film wasn't that great.
Because the acting was outstanding, and those girls were brilliant.
The girls were fantastic. I think everyone around them was the worst things.
Yeah.
Like the next door neighbor was horrific, and she's been in a lot. Didn't care about her. I didn't care about her.
No.
Didn't care about any of them really. I just think sometimes I personally have to be invested in the characters a bit for me to really care about it. But anyway, enough.
Go and check it out for yourself.
I've been waiting for this one. Let's get the movie from the vault out.
Weekends are a good time to escape to the woods. unless the weekend begins with Friday the 13th. Because 13 is an unlucky number. But out here, so are 1 through 12. Because these are Jason's woods. And nobody leaves them alive. Friday the 13th, Part 3, in 3D. Jason, you can't fight him. You can't stop him. And now, you can't even keep him on the screen. Friday the 13th, Part 3, in 3D. Now, when it comes to killing in Jason's woods, Jason will come to you. Friday the 13th, Part 3, in 3D. A new dimension in terror. It will scare you. Count on it.
We have 2 movies from the vault, so I'm going to get to read 2 synopsises.
You greedy bugger. You're greedy, but I love it.
So, the first one, well, we're going to do them both in tandem, see what happens. Friday the 13th, Part 3, 3D, from 1982. Jason Voorhees stalks another group of friends who have just arrived the weekend at a cabin near Crystal Lake. You know, that's a nice, quick synopsis there. That's pretty much what all of them are about, pretty much. And then the final chapter, starring a bit of Corey Feldman. After being announced dead and taken to a morgue, Jason Voorhees spontaneously revives, escapes from the hospital, and stalks a group of friends renting a house in the countryside near Crystal Lake. Now, this is quite interesting because we've got 2 Friday the 13th movies, both Cabin in the Woods movies, but 2 very different movies. We have one in 3D, which is kind of very humorous in its approach, and the second, and the number 4, the final chapter, it's a bit more dark and moody, I'd say.
A little bit more, yeah.
Yeah. What do you think about these bad boys, mate?
Well, should we get into number 3 first?
Let's do it.
Like, I'll tell you what, I fucking love this movie, man. I absolutely forgotten how much. I mean, I love the first one, obviously, it's a classic. And the second one is quite good. But, man, fucking, we're getting into the, like, proper good shit. Because this, obviously, was brought out in cinemas in 3D. And this was probably, one of the first movies, probably after Jaws?
Before, this was, so, when was Jaws 3D? Because there was a bit of, like, everything free was, like, okay, this is like a bit of a craze with the little glasses. You know, was it green and red? The green and red glasses?
Blue and red, I think it was, wasn't it?
Was it Jaws 3 was like 1983. So this is after. Jaws 3 3D was after this.
Oh, okay. Interesting. But it's like it follows on straight from 2.
Yeah.
Which was cool. Like and we meet like this guy and his absolute cunt of a wife, which is really horrible. But like straight away with the 3D, with the pole and the washing, the rattlesnake in the rabbit's hutch launching out, like everything. The first like 10 minutes of this film is just like, let's just get loads of 3D stuff, and it's just a bit weird. It was a bit like comedic in areas.
I don't know if how they polished this one up, because you watched the Jaws 3D one, right? And it's hard to watch that without knowing that it's 3D. Whereas this one, even though you can see the 3D bits, it's still very watchable.
Oh yeah, but there are obvious bits in there that we'll get to later. But like this guy, straight from the bat, like is just a bit of a weirdo eating fish food, like literally disgusting, living in a little shop in the middle of nowhere, and then literally Jason attacks just from nowhere. The toilet kill, I call it.
Yeah. The unhinged, the poor guy having the first one, like having a proper shit on the toilet.
And he gets up, he don't even fucking wipe. Literally thinks, I'll get up and have a look. I'm not going to bother wiping my ass.
Worst shop ever.
And he takes a shit and you can hear it. It's disgusting.
Yeah, well, he's going around eating all the produce as well. I don't know who actually is coming to that shop.
Fish food.
But we have to ask the question in here. Did Jason get laid? Because old Gypsy Field, or whatever her name is, she's the one, sort of the main sort of heroine in this, and she's like gets knocked out by Jason. Sorry, kill me, and he doesn't kill her. So what else does he?
She manages to escape.
What has he done with her?
All right, get your mind out the gut.
There's a time. I think Jason got laid in this one. Personally.
No. No. He's not that sort of person. He's not. He is the one that kills the people doing the fucking. We know that.
That's the thing. Both movies in tandem, right? Got a group of kids. You know, that's
that's fine for him, dude. Man, come on.
But he just goes through them. And through them, every scenario, whether it's like a little bit of like comedic version, and this one's hilarious as well, the third one, because he's very much like Cabin in the Woods, the sort of piss take horror, with 4 and stuff. It's based on this movie, like it's based purely on this one with the Joker, the stoner, the sex, but it's purely based on this.
It's taken tropes from it, yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
But this one, we get the mask. Did you write down when we first see the mask?
This is the first one, yeah. This is why I like it.
54 minutes in, we see the mask for the first time.
Yeah, I don't know. I like this one because it introduced like all these kids, and they all have their little things. Like there's the dickhead one that basically keeps playing pranks, but he like loves special effects and drama and stuff. And then the fucking crazy punks that they introduce. I love it because they just introduce all these people just to get more kills.
Yeah,
and I just love it. I love that, just all the kills, man. It's just the kills in this, just because it's a bit slow to begin with. It's a bit slow. It does take a while to get into it. It lays a lot of character stuff up, and it's just like, but then when they get into the kills, man, it ramps up.
It doesn't stop, and we get some good ones in this one as well. With like my vote for best kill is Upside Down Andy. I called him. On his hat, the one in his hands. Best kill.
He's just like literally doing handstands everywhere he goes. What the fuck?
He's the jock, and then they're hanging around with like 2 hippies.
Yeah, what the fuck is that? The hippies was purely there for comedic kind of quality. It's like they weren't even with the others though, wasn't it? It was like all their stuff is shot away from the others. It's almost like they weren't in that cabin with them. It was ridiculous.
But in this one,
what the fuck is up with her boyfriend? He's like 50. I think his name was Ricky. He is like meant to be a fucking teenager. He's like fucking 40, 50 years old.
Yeah, I thought that was fucking very weird.
And he's a fucking creep.
He was a big creep, but it's all right. He gets thrown for a fucking window. After he gets his head crushed, which was great.
Eye pop. 3D eye pop.
3D eye pop. Oh,
I called that bit Popeye.
Nice. I like the spear gun as well. The 3D. Very good.
We're getting to that. Jesus Christ.
But she kicked his ass. Like the end, sort of like cat and mouse. It wasn't. She really did kick Jason's ass.
Don't
you think?
Oh yeah, she gave him a bit of a runaround. Yeah, I mean,
fucking runaround. Fucking runaround. He's getting battered, mate.
He does actually. He is a bit of a pussy in this one, because he's like, did you think in this one that he was a bit more of a bumbling idiot in number 3?
100%.
You know, he keeps doing things a bit stupid. He gets fooled quite a lot, and he's like, you know, he trips over a few times. He drops his machete. He's like, yeah, what, Jason, what are you doing, mate? Sort your life out.
Doesn't she do like a weird like backflip through a window or something like that as well onto the? Or was that in the 4th one where she does a backflip through the window?
This is the one where she gets out the window to run away from him, and I put in my notes, thank God for cheap 80s jackets, because her jacket gets caught. It's a great bit because she's hanging out the window, and it's that bit where she gets through the bathroom window, and you think, whenever you're trying to run from somebody, I don't know if you have this, and you think, oh, you're getting through the window. In every horror movie, suddenly they appear, and it's great because he's grappling with her, and he's got her by the throat, and he's like literally pulling her up, and somehow she gets free, but her coat gets caught, and it rips, and then she just slams on the ground.
Yeah,
crazy. But yeah, she gets away from him, doesn't she? She's just like fucking crazy.
Well, yeah, but he's in the barn, and she hangs him. And then he's like the guy comes out, get his hand chopped off, and that was all 3D. It's supposed to be 3D as well. And he gets an axe to the head to finally finish him off. But it's like, sort of. But this one as well, I thought was quite funny, because when we talk about the 4th one in a minute, they didn't rely on the nudity. There was no real nudity in this one. They sort of softened the nudity a little bit, and they upped.
There's a little bit.
But they teased you with it, because it was like the hammock, wasn't it? They were having sex in the hammock.
Yeah.
And she had a shower, and even then, very noticed that the camera angles. And I just thought that was pointless, because eventually I would like to know, because I don't think there is, like, is there a certain amount of boobage that you can show on TV without becoming a porno or something like that? I don't know.
I don't think you're allowed to show bush.
I don't know, but like, because she was wearing pants in the shower, but like,
glad you did the research on that for us.
Took note on that one for you.
Yeah.
But yeah,
you're right. That I got to go back to it. You touched on it. That kill of her boyfriend, where he's just always walking around on his hands. That fucking machete kill where he sliced it, that was fucking insane.
Yeah.
Special effects on that were horrifitic. And not only that, he gets put in the ceiling.
Yeah.
All wrapped up in the ceiling. Oh,
loved it. It was great. And do you notice the little Fangoria magazine moment as well?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Like that. So that was great. That was that was very, number 3 was very like funny. Yeah,
I don't think it's overly funny. I think it's just about enough humor to put in there. But go on.
You go from number 1. Remember when we watched number 1?
And it was
just very serious, very point of view, and it was very dark, very Henry Portrait of a Serial Killer, sort of very like.
It's that fucking dark.
It was dark. I thought it was dark, and I think for this time it was very dark. Second one again followed that POV. This one was kind of
I mean the second one was it was just like that whole camp. It was still the camp, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So it was still kind of like the whole, all the kids around the camp sort of shit. Where this one is kind of like, the kids going to rent a cabin, so we're off of like Camp Crystal Lake. But in this one, we get the face reveal, which we have not had.
Yes. Fucking hell. Who plays Friday? Who plays Jason in this one?
It's not Kane Hodder.
Nick Hart? Is it? Who's?
It is. Forgive me, I should know this. It's Richard Brooker.
Okay. He was very, very good, Jason.
Yeah, really good. Really big.
Really foreboding.
Big. However, the one bit that really freaked me out was the kind of sting at the end where you think, oh yeah, she's killed him. She does the old thing like in the first movie. She goes down to the canoe, gets in the canoe. She's like drifting. And even then, remember, she's been through like an ordeal, like to the worst case. She's witnessed all those people die, like literally ran cat and mouse for hours, it felt like. And then literally is on this canoe And then when she looks up, and that bit where he's peering through the window, it really freaked me out. And he's like looking out the window, like, and he's moving his head, like, where is she? Where is she? It's fucking horrible. And he smashes through the door, and then obviously it fucking duped us, didn't it?
Yeah, I didn't know the idea. Yeah, it was good. All right.
That's freaky, that bit.
Yeah, Friday the 14th final chapter. A different Friday the 13th.
Hang on a minute. Do you want me to do some Matt's facts before we move on to the next one?
I want you to do Matt's facts all of at the end.
Oh, fucking hell. Really?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
All at the end, please.
All right.
Hold your horses.
All right. Getting excited.
Friday the 13th final chapter. This has Crispin Glover and Corey Feldman in.
Say no more.
Yeah, and we're back to almost telling the tale of Jason. I feel in this one, the third one sort of like is a bit. It's even though it's like in tandem and he's walking his way around the lake. This one feels back into the sort of like the tale of it all. It very much follows on from what's happening in the third one, but it's
I think it's 2 days later.
Yeah, and it's back to brutality as well. The brutality is ups in this one. I feel we're back to nudity as well.
I thought you'd like that one about this.
And
I will say something, right? Friday the 13th, right? And this is going to sound really, really bad. Is the whole franchise? They're really good at picking really beautiful girls, and that's really sexist and horrible. But I'm not objectifying. I'm just making a statement that they're pretty in this one. They picked a lot of good-looking girls because they obviously realised good-looking girls makes cash.
Well, there's that, but they upped the amount of people as well.
Yeah,
they really did up. There was like at least it felt like there was 2 parties going on, and then a whole nother house as well we get. But this has got some incredible moments in it. I mean, Crispin Glover for one. Those dance moves are just like
do not forget about Gordon the dog, the golden retriever.
Gets chucked out the window, bless him. God rest his soul.
Don't see him die though.
You see him jump. He jumps out of that window.
A lot of slow-mos in this one.
Yeah.
So this one is the one basically where they're all like, there's a group of kids. They've rented out a house, and opposite them is a family that live in the house, which is the little boy, Corey Feldman, and his mum and his fit sister. And they kind of get involved. The sister gets involved with the kids over the road, and she meets them.
Well, she gets involved with a drifter, because there's a drifter in this as well.
That guy, I forgot about him.
Don't forget, there's a drifter, and there's also a couple of like twins that they meet haplessly. So we got like 6 that are in a station wagon. The 2 twins, the drifter.
Introducing more people.
It's like a lot going on in this.
But the drifter is a bit weird because like they're like, oh, what are you doing? He's like, oh, just hunting. What are you hunting? Bear. It's like, whatever.
Yeah, he's looking for. We know who he's looking for. But there's some weird like choices in this. We got Tom Savini as the man in this as well. He's back to doing.
Why is that a weird choice?
No, so there are some weird choices.
Okay.
The two different accents. But there was a moment which I want to run past you when they're doing the nudie swimming, and
why did I guess it was going to be this skinny dipping?
The skinny dipping, and then
the rope that wasn't high enough, so they kept hitting their asses on the lake.
But one of them was being a knob and like not going in the water, and then her mate. There was a bit of a weird moment where they sort of like they go to the shot where she gets pulled in by her mate, and it looks like it's like, that whole bit about Jason pull him in, but it's not Jason, and it's her mate. But it was a dummy. There was a bit before she gets pulled in, and the person.
Dummy, I thought it was just her with her eyes open, like.
I'm gonna watch it one more time because it looks like an actual.
I thought you would have rewound it and watched it about 7 times anyway, mate.
I will do that. But yeah, that was a bit weird. But then we get like the party going on, and
Crispin Glover's dancing.
They were incredible because not only can he do a little bit of
It's
You
the
know.
weirdest thing I've ever seen in a movie. It's almost like he's making a sandwich or something when he's dancing. It's so weird.
It's he applies himself to the roles. He's an actor who applies himself to roles. Let's say that. So he's gone away. He's created a character.
He's literally George McFly. Let's put it blunt.
Yeah, but
Slightly younger George McFly.
But he's just gone right. This is what my character is, and my character is this like weird, unassuming guy who
That's a virgin.
can dance like he does in a rave. And I mean, he's 10 years behind. You know,
he's ahead of himself.
Ahead of his time. Those dance moves are ahead.
Oh mate,
weird one.
Oh,
But yeah,
mate,
so the killing starts, and yeah, ample amount of nudity left, right, and center. That bit where someone was thrown on the car was incredible.
There's a lot of I noticed in this one there is a lot of slow motion chucking through windows. There's about four different people that get chucked through windows.
A lot of stunts in this one. The stunt work was absolutely incredible, and they really, really focused on that. There's a lot of cannon fodder for Jason, who's just going from kill to kill to kill.
We didn't even mention the hospital to start with, because Jason's taken into hospital and kills the creepy coroner.
Yeah, we get 2 kills right off the bat at the start. To add to the number, which we'll talk about in a minute. But yeah, there was just like some great bits in this. Wrong end of, you know, there's just some outstanding bits there. The bits with Tommy, Corey Feldman, I think, are just
we got to talk about Tommy, because Tommy is obviously played by Corey Feldman, and he's massively into his monsters, isn't he? And his like props and kind of like geeky shit that beyond that's way beyond his ability, because there's no way he made any of that shit.
Harryhausen shit, sort of.
Yeah, Ray Harryhausen. Yeah,
Ray Harryhausen, and it's like
Tom Savini's just gone in there and go, yeah, you can take that one, that one, use that and put it in his bedroom.
Yeah, and he pulls the drifter into his bedroom as well. I thought
that's a bit weird, isn't it? It's like we haven't even talked about the drifter really. Should we address the drifter, Rob?
Rob, I don't really know what to say about Rob.
So Rob confesses with our lead and tells her that obviously he's a brother of a victim. Now I looked this up because I wanted to check it out, see if his story checked out. So he is Rob Dyer, the brother of a victim called Sandra Dyer from Part 2.
Ooh, lovely connection.
So I like that little connection.
But still completely random.
Yeah, it's completely random. That is like, yeah, he killed my sister, and now I'm going to kick his ass. And he was absolutely pathetic.
We know who did the ass kicking. It was Trish, Tommy's sister.
That was it. Yeah, definitely.
Played by Kimberly Beck. And she was great. She didn't do any too smooching. She did some great stunt work, or maybe she had a good stunt double. She was the one who went through the fucking window.
That's right.
Like, onto her back.
Yeah.
Right? That was fucking ace.
That one where you can kind of see the bounce as she hits.
You can see the guy. Even so, it was still fucking awesome to watch. But she does again. She kicks his ass even further than the one before.
Strong women in horror. That's what I'm saying.
Yes. She makes them, because before he got a dent. He's got an axe in the head. So you can see that. In this one, he gets his, the hand.
Before that, let's not forget Hammer Time, where she's literally fucking hammering the fuck out of his face.
I fucking know.
And it's stuck
with
in
the wrong
head.
End. Yeah. She decides that it's the wrong end.
Spiky end.
She decides that it's like, she just goes, this ain't doing anything. So she turns it round and claws him in the neck.
Yeah, like full on claw. But like this is the weird thing, right? Because like obviously Jason is running after Trish and Tommy. Yeah. So at one point he's like fully nearly steals Tommy out when he breaks through the window and stuff. But there's a moment on the landing where you've not really seen this from Jason before. And this is interesting because he's given a choice. It's like, does he take one way and he gets the kid? or does he go out the other way and go after the girl? And he's like, he don't know what to do, because he's like, it's really weird. It's like a really strange moment on the top, and he decides to go after her. And I was like, phew, he's not a pedo. Thank God. Don't make Jason the pedo.
Indiscriminate killing. But yeah, she makes good use of that machete.
Yeah, this like 3 with the machete split. The scene you just talked about, the hand split, fucking brilliant.
Yeah, incredible.
Tom Savini is best, mate. It's just like, oh my word,
and
so good.
We're back to slow-mo cam with Tommy just fucking making sure that he's finished his job. After cutting his hair to look like Jason, he suppose.
Did you notice as well? You know, when he goes down on the floor and he's like attacking Trish, and Tommy comes up behind him, that he's like, Jason's actually making noise for a change. This is the first movie I've seen Jason actually making noise, because he's like, like he's like an animal, man. And then, fuck me, that machete through the head. I mean, we spoke about it before, best kills, didn't we?
Yeah.
But fuck, I was like, whoa. It's like, that is visceral.
Yeah, it really, really is. And also it's just like the next bit afterwards as well, where Tommy is just literally going to town.
Psycho Tommy, I wrote down.
Yeah, it's the slow-mo, and it's crazy. It is absolutely nuts.
What I want to ask you, what did you think about the obviously Tommy's quick thinking, and he thinks, I'm going to go and put makeup on to make me look like him, like to relate to him. It's a bit weird, because obviously they've taken the kind of thing with, is it the first one where is it the second one where she puts the mum's jumper on and pretends to be the mum, isn't it? She's like, Jason, it's your mum, which was brilliant, which I loved. But it's kind of taken that trope again. It's that psychological thing, isn't it? That they're messing with him again.
Yeah, it was it's quite nuts, and I really did enjoy that bit. It really stuck out, and watching these two together was great. It made me want to rewatch them again and again. To be honest, I'm like, they are fucking like, and I understand why I like this franchise a lot more than Halloween.
I know why you like this franchise a lot more than Halloween. There's 2 reasons.
But it's just like, it doesn't mess about. I mean, you couldn't just take, I'm going to take 10 years later, I'm going to pinch from one, it all follows suit. It's just done around a massive lake. It works. But I don't know. And Jason was done great. It's played by Steve Dash in this one, who's fucking, again, an absolute monster.
Yeah, it's just like one of those things. I don't know what it is with Friday the 13th, but I think they are my favourite ones. Like, because it's just like, the inventive kills and the special effects are just second to none on them. And it's just like, I don't know, there's something it captures about the time. It's just so, and they just sometimes you just don't know where they're going. You just think they make some weird choices in a good way.
Yeah.
And that's what I like about it. And it's just like, you can't just go, oh yeah, that one's the same as the other one. They all have their own little stamp.
He just keeps moving forwards and just like wanting to get the kill, wanting to kill next. He doesn't, in these ones, he doesn't really creep. He don't mind having a run.
He's just a killer.
He just kills.
Just wants to kill. However, I do like the way he lets them fuck before he kills them. Poor old Kristen Glover loses his V cards just before it, and he's well happy, isn't he? He's not a dead fuck. He's spectacular. He's brilliant, and he's like so happy. He goes downstairs, doesn't he? And then he gets fucking corkscrewed. He has a screw, then he gets fucking screwed.
That was brilliant. A nice kid. Where's the corkscrew?
Yeah. Oh, just that. But at least, they all get their kind of like, at least they all get their rocks off before they die.
Liked it a lot.
At least he's not an asshole. At least he doesn't, do it during.
Let's have a buttload of Matt's facts on these.
Oh my God,
boys!
Are you ready for this, mate?
Monster. Come on.
You are. So I'll start off with part 3's facts first. To prevent the film's plot from being leaked, the production used the fake title Crystal Japan after David Bowie song. This began an on-again, off-again tradition of giving Friday the 13th films David Bowie song titles during the filming. I love this. Oh, I wish I could watch it right. The Royal Independent Movie Theatre in Toronto, Canada, which closed in 2006, had owned one of the few copies of the movie in its original 3D format that they used to screen the film once every year at Halloween. Fuck me, would I love to watch that. Like, can you imagine if they brought it back in 4DX? Like, I'd go all day.
Yeah, all day.
Martin J. Sadoff, the film's 3D effects supervisor, is responsible for coming up with Jason's trademark hockey mask. Sadoff always kept a bag with him full of hockey gear on set because he was an avid hockey fan. While testing potential masks to use for Jason, he pulled out a Detroit Red Wings goalie mask for the test. Director Steve Miner loved the look, and after making some modifications to the mask, decided to use it in the film. Thought that was quite an interesting thing. The film made $37 million with a budget of $4 million.
It's nice.
It made bank. So part 3 is the only Friday the 13th film in which none of the characters actually say the name Jason. Maybe it's because part 3 takes place one day after part 2, and Jason's legendary slasher exploits are effectively still developing over a long weekend at that point.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, because it's like, it felt like it was just like almost not separate, but just another story that it worked. Even though it was part of the tale, it didn't feel like. Whereas like the fourth one, they started with the tale.
Yeah, the lore.
The lore. It was cool.
I've still got a few more on this one. Debbie, Tracy Savage death in the film via machete through the chest from below is a clear homage from the infamous death of Kevin Bacon in the first film. In fact, they reused Tom Savini's effect from the first film to achieve the shot. So it's basically a recreation of the Bacon death scene with the victim's gender switched and a hammock exchanged for a bed. However, before Debbie dies, she's reading Fangoria magazine. And not only that, the audience can definitely tell it's an issue of Fangoria whose cover touts an article about Tom Savini.
Nice.
The body count in this movie. Now, this is a bit weird, and I don't know where this is at, but the body count says 12 to 13, counting Debbie's unborn child. Was Debbie pregnant?
Yes, they did mention it loosely at the start when we're in the van, I think, that she was pregnant, but they didn't really. That's where I thought like she might have been the.
I can't remember that bit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah! Wow. That's
because I thought that's where I thought that he'd done the business, because like they only said he was pregnant, but it was a different woman. Yeah.
No. Let's not ruin it. Right, you ready for some part 4?
Yes.
Right, at around 35 minutes in, the strange dance which Jimbo performs at the party was contributed by actor Crispin Glover and was based on the eccentric way he actually danced in clubs, which fucking hats off to him. On the set, he was dancing to Back in Black by AC/DC. As the scene was filmed, in the film, however, it was edited version of Love is Lie by Lion was dubbed in the scene. I'd love to just play that scene, but play Back in Black over to see if it actually matches up. It'd be interesting.
But there's no air guitars.
Yeah. At around 9 minutes in, the nurse's name tag reads R. Morgan, RN, in a homage to actress Robbie Morgan, who played Anne in Friday the 13th in 1980. On a budget of 1.8 million, the film made 32 million at the box office. So again, made a lot of money. It has been suggested that the only reason Tom Savini worked as a makeup artist on this film was so he could accurately age and properly kill the character he created from the first film. I thought that was very interesting.
Very cool.
So this is a bit of a long one, so get ready for this, right? So it's played for humour throughout the final chapter that young Tommy Jarvis Feldman is suddenly surrounded by horny teenagers renting a cabin. He can see into his own. We didn't even talk about that. or young Tommy, peeping Tom. So he can see into the other house from his own house. However, the reality of the situation is that those actresses were indeed very or partially naked, and Corey Feldman was still young enough that Eric Anderson and Kimberly Beck took him trick-or-treating for the first day of filming, since it happened to be October 31st in 1983. So they shielded the 12-year-old Feldman from most of the bad stuff using tricky editing when necessary. What they could not control was the power of the low-cut top, sans bra underneath. According to Feldman, in the scene which Judy Aronson's character bends over to greet Tommy to pet his dog, unbeknownst to anyone but Feldman, he could see down her low-cut top. So he's a little perv.
Bloody perv. Legend.
This is quite funny. So Rob the Hunter was originally supposed to have high-tech equipment which he'd used to track Jason, but the props for this looked cheap, and the idea was scrapped. Thank fuck. Last couple, Tracy Jarvis. Right, this is a really interesting one. The fate and death would have been more further explained in a deleted scene, so that had been cut out of the film. An alternative ending to the film included on the 2009 deluxe edition DVD, shows a dream sequence where Trish and Tommy wake up the next morning after killing Jason to the sound of police sirens. Trish sends Tommy to summon the police, who have arrived next door. At that point, she notices water dripping from the ceiling and goes to investigate. She enters up the upstairs bathroom and finds the body of her mother floating in a tub full of bloody water. Trish lifts her mother out of the tub, prompting Tracy's eyes to reopen, revealing them to be solid white and devoid of irises. Jason suddenly appears from behind the bathroom door and prepares to attack Trish. Trish then suddenly wakes up in a hospital, and that is the ending to the first movie.
Bloody hell.
So they were going to put that in, but they didn't. And this has a body count of 14. So pretty much the same as the first one, which I thought there was more body count. But
very fucking cool. Oh, mate, that's good. That's quality. They're fucking great. They're so rewatchable as well.
I love them. I literally I can't. Like, I don't know. There's just not. So far I haven't seen a bad one.
No.
Well, I don't think I will.
No. What would you rate them?
Oh, mate. I don't know. I absolutely love them. Go on. What would you rate part 3?
It's 8 apiece for me.
8 apiece. I'd
8
say.
Apiece.
For me,
because 8 apiece.
See, I think I love them more. I think I go 9 apiece. I love them, man. They're so cool. It's just like there's the kills, everything. It's just like, it doesn't need to be complex.
Fuck it.
It doesn't need to be complex.
Draw one last breath. 9 out of 10 for both.
Awesome.
All right then. After we're not doing 2 again. That was fucking hard. What you got? It's your pick. So let's hear it.
So this may be controversial. However,
again.
I really, really want to watch this movie, and apparently, it's meant to be really good. Now, the controversial thing about it is that we haven't seen the second, and I don't want to watch the second. You've seen the second, and I don't want to watch the second. So we're going to skip the second because it's crap. But I'm going to pick The Exorcist 3.
I mean, I'm happy. I do want to see it, and I've got it on DVD. So that's the Heretic?
No.
What's it called? What's the third one called? Awakening or something like that?
No, I think it's just called Exorcist 3.
All right, I'm game. I mean, I've always wanted to see this, and they're both 2 and 3 are both prequels, right?
I've not seen 3.
They've both got Skarsgård. I thought in my head. I can't remember. I'm well up for this. I've heard that it's fucking crazy. So yeah, bring it on. Exorcist 3. Can watch any of them. They don't need. So I've got that box
just
set.
The Exorcist 3.
I haven't got that Arrow box set. That's beautiful. Oh, you bastard. That's lovely. Very good. Okay. I am very much looking forward to this. I've seen one scene from it.
So this is set 15 years after the events of the first film.
Oh,
so don't
okay.
need to see the second.
Brilliant, because I think the second one's a prequel. Brilliant. Fantastic. Exorcist 3. Cannot wait. That is episode 140 done. Thank you so much for all listening, collaborating. Come and talk to us on social media. More of that, please. Come and have a conversation. Let us know your thoughts.
We have missed Mr. Geordie Poor, unfortunately.
We really have, but we've got his thoughts in there as well to add. So it's going to sound weird, but there you go. Maybe we'll just stick him on the end as punishment. But then, moving on to episode 141, we have got a couple of treats. There's Five Nights at Freddy, which everyone keeps on raving about. I think we're going to do a film called It Lives Inside, as long as we can find it.
Yay. Let's do it.
Back for another Something to Scream About. And then Matt has just pulled The Exorcist 3 for our movie from the vault. And there's only one more thing to say. When there's no more room in hell, here's another podcast.
I am the devil, and I am here to do the devil's work.
You can follow us on Twitter at DrawOneLast, Instagram at DrawOneLastBreath, or pop us an email at DrawOneLastBreathPod@hotmail.com.